His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a noisy country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
Mr. President, recently we witnessed the demolition of the CDC headquarters in Komottown, which was carried out through a court order. How does the administration ensure that such enforcement action are done fairly and without political interference?
The law is the law. It's not the government. It's the government implementation of the law. The police were ordered to do it, and they did it. Is that demolition is removal of the people from premises that don't belong to them according to the law.
Why will George Weah, who is tempted by Joseph Boakai, who was drowning in his Egypt land, who was dead, very red up, dirty, stink, you could find him passing around, particularly dead and useless. Why will such a man conduct make you Weah vex that you will struck the work and then lose God's own mission to take you to the promised land? That was the test of time today for George Weah. If George Weah had reacted, you are falling in the place of Moses.
The Liberian National Police commends the Congress for Democratic Change for the discipline, calm, and statesmanship demonstrated during the recent eviction process. Their respect for the rule of law, despite the deep sentimental value and history attached to the property, reflects a maturity that strengthens Liberia's democracy. This movement is not only a testament to CDC's leadership, but also a reminder to all political institutions and citizens that our democracy grows stronger when lawful decisions are honored peacefully.
Today, you have a rebel police director who thinks that he has arrived. And the worst thing about all these people, they all benefited from the magnanimity of George Weah. ranging from people on the bench of the Supreme Court. They got letters from George Weah. If some of them choose to pay him back with evil, it's up to them. The very Gregory Comer today, he worked in the previous administration when Weah came. He also got another letter again. If he chooses to do what he's doing, it's up to him. But one thing I can tell you for sure is this is how we had always been molded. That's how God has already molded Weah and catapult him into success. He will suffer rejection, denigration, humiliation. That has been his life. How can you make somebody who has been down the line their shame? The person has gone through shame. They have gone through disgrace. They have done everything they can. Whatever people thought and were laughing at them, they surmount everything and catapult themselves into becoming someone who is towering that the whole world can look at today. What more can you do? You think you're bringing that person down? You're just hurting yourself. In fact, what you are doing, you are destroying yourself. You know what it takes for you to pride in yourself of being bad? When people are looking for good image, you are happy in becoming a bad person. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. Bad person, George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. Forever. Never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. He would never, ever.
This government assigned security to the former president's house. This government is capable of bribing any of its security to plan any evil in the former president's house. This government has done so many things that have questioned the credibility of the president. They have manipulated the law. They have manipulated security. The president has interfered with investigations of other issues that we know of. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. So that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. We know of. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example. Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong, and no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent. His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
To God Almighty, the creator and sustainer, man, of the universe, who keeps watch over each and every one of us individually and institutionally, the God who hovers by his presence, Kings 88.5, and every individual person making up the family. Yeah, we are grateful to God Almighty. And thank you all for coming on too. We appreciate you. We are always inspired by your presence. Today is Wednesday, midweek, they say in Liberia. So let's make a few announcements, then we get to what we've got on our plate. As usual, I said we will always sound as a broken record. Please accept it that way until otherwise, when we can no longer say it, by then we together will have achieved our goal. Thank you for the compliment. The King Support Basket, the SendWave 0555 885 885 0555 885 885, the SendWave, the local mobile money 0777 017 885 0777 017 885 0777 017 885. Those two numbers, the name attached to it, Ibrahim William. Also, today is 4,000 for 4,000, so it's double. 4,000 for 4,000. Our partners, True Odds, giving you 4,000 and then 4,000 free, meaning you're playing the King's Cash giveaway and you're playing for only 4,000. For playing for 4,000, our partners added additional 4,000. So 4,000, 4,000. Two 4,000s give you 8,000 double. You only need to deposit 100 Liberian dollars or 70 cents US. That's all. And then you put in the code *799 *24 #. That's all you need to do. Did you get it? 4,000 you are playing. It's a simple game. 4,000 for you. You're fighting for 4,000. Additional 4,000 will be given to you because you attempted to play. You are playing with only 100 Liberian dollars or 70 cents US. No more, no less. You put in the code *799 *24 #. That's all. And then you have your 4,000. Many are playing and many are winning. If you can and you think that it's not necessary, well, it's up to you. But others who will take the initiative or put their faith into action get the return investment, the return of their faith investment. If you can, fine. Today is the birthday of former Liberian Vice President and the CDC government, Joy Howard Taylor. She celebrates her 63rd birth anniversary, meaning she is 63 years old. We can help but bless God Almighty for preserving her life, allowing her to see another milestone, another memorable year. And we say, bless and joyous be day to the former Liberian Vice President, Joy Howard Taylor, one of the voices, realistic voices, dominant voice in Liberia, one of the leading pioneers of women empowerment, championing women's codes. And Joy Howard Taylor, she just embodies everything, uniqueness, representative of a woman, a vice president, a lawyer, a politician, just everything rather. She's just unique in herself. We bless God, allowing her to see another birthday. Let's get out of Liberia as usual briefly. Then we turn to events unfolding here. The United States will end temporary protective status for Somali nationals on March 17. A move that could strip about 2,500 people of legal status and work authorization unless blocked by a court. The document of Homeland Security said the decision was based on claims that conditions in Somalia have improved. TPS has protected Somalis from deportation since 1991, following the outbreak of civil war. The move follows renewed criticism of Somali immigrants by President Donald Trump, who has used hostile rhetoric and threatened to denaturalize people convicted of immigration fraud. Despite DHS assessment, the U.S. continues to warn against travel to Somalia due to terrorism, crime, and civil unrest. DHS says 2,471 Somalis currently hold TPS, with over 1,300 applications pending. More than 200 suspected members of an armed criminal gang in central Nigeria have been killed in an ongoing operation, an official there told the BBC. The large-scale multi-agency offensive started on Saturday and had also led to several arrests. Footage shared with the BBC by the Kogi police, filmed from a helicopter, showed flames raging from one settlement in a densely forested area. For years, members of criminal gangs, locally known as bandits, have carried out killings and kidnapping for ransom, mainly targeting those in the northwest, but they have been moving to other parts of the country more recently. The head of Uganda's electoral body says he has received threats warning him against declaring certain presidential candidates the winners of Thursday's election. Simeon Bayabakama said he will not be intimidated by such threats from senior state officials, whom he did not name. He was responding to a BBC question about a widely shared video which showed a presidential assistant saying the Electoral Commission would never declare opposition candidate Bobi Wine president, even if he were to win. President Yoweri Museveni, age 81, who has ruled that country for nearly 4 decades, is seeking a 7th term in office. The opposition, Bobi Wine, age 43, is Yoweri Museveni's main challenger, seeking to unseat him for the second time after finishing runner-up in 2021 polls. Meanwhile, the government there has shut down to the internet for 2 days running now. The BBC, Samin Wami, has been explaining the situation to his colleague Anne Soy from BBC Kenya studio, the problem Uganda is going through presently.
Yesterday, the chief of the Uganda Communication Commission spoke to the media, and he said his commission has received a strong recommendation from Interagency Security Committee, which has advised them that it's important for his commission to shut down the internet. Now, we're not 100% sure who exactly is involved or who is part of that interagency committee, but in different contexts, usually it's the police, the military, the intelligence. And according to the assessment, they said it's important for the internet to be shut down so that to preserve the peace and security. He talked about misinformation that has been surfacing online, and that because of that, they believe towards the election, and particularly after the announcement of results, probably that would increase. So that's why they want to shut that internet now ahead of that. Now, we should clarify that it's not like a total internet shutdown. It's been very targeted. They're talking about social media, video streaming, emails, and web search. But other services, they call essential services like the hospitals and banking system and things like that, are still operational. And in some places, like big hotels like the one we're in right now, the internet is weak. But yes, we can still access the connectivity via wireless.
Well, the government had given assurances previously that it wasn't going to shut down the internet, and misinformation is nothing new, certainly not in Uganda, not anywhere in the world. What changed, and how are people reacting to that?
That is the question people have been asking, and they've been very surprised, to be honest, because like you said, 2 weeks ago, several government officials, including the permanent secretary from the Minister of Information, the very same chief of Communication Commission here said, up to that point, in particular, they didn't promise that they would never shut down the internet, but they said up to that point, they didn't have any plan to shut down the internet, and they say that is not something that they would like to do. They would like to provide services to the people, but it appears that circumstances have changed. And like I said earlier, the commission, the chief of the commission said they've received that recommendation from security officers. And in a way, I think it's reflective even of what's been going on in Kampala streets. We've seen the heightened security, police officers, military officials, roaming around the street, patrolling and monitoring the security situation. So we believe they've assessed that, and they decided it's important for them to shut down the internet. But we've also seen some few videos and photos already surfacing online, where with social media users, claiming, ballot box already being filled and things like that. So that they want to stop that from escalating.
And Sammy, what's the mood like ahead of election day? What are people saying? What are they looking forward to?
Security is something that many people have been talking about. We've heard from some of the people who are residing here in the capital city who are talking about leaving the city and going outside, maybe in rural areas where they believe it would be relatively safe. I posed that question to the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, asking him, what do they say to these people? Obviously, the chief of the police had been, assuring people that, the heavy security presence in streets is not to scare people or that there's any imminent security threat. It's just to assure people that the security officers are on top of things and they want to make sure that situations remain as calm as it is now. But obviously people are concerned, and that's because of the history of election in this country. In the past, they've been, it hasn't been always peaceful. But so far, people, when they compare with past election, they say this one has been relatively peaceful. Obviously there's been incidences of confrontations between police and especially the supporters of opposition parties, but generally it's been relatively peaceful or safer than compared to past elections. So security is something that most people are worried about.
The BBC, Sammy Wamin, explaining to his colleague Ain Sor, who reports from Kenya, why Sammy is in Uganda on the shutting down of the internet ahead of the elections on tomorrow, Uganda presidential election, with leading opposition leader Bobby Wine under serious intimidatory threats from day one by the state. The internet is down. Take you, though we little bit far from 2029, but take you of these things. Don't hear these things and just think that they are foreign and you treat them as foreign. No, look at the issues that are being reported. It's very likely, during 2029, could shut down the internet. Anything, just anything can happen in election. When they tell you George Weah will never come back to power, they're not telling you that George Weah does not have the ability to come back. They are telling you they have the ability to prevent George Weah in any way from coming back. These things I continue to tell you. God allow these things to happen or are happening in these African countries, North African countries, South, or whatever the country, so that you take cue, if you can, to be on the alert. Well, then that's it. These are signs. Everything life is about sign. God works with sign. If you can work with sign, then you do not understand God. If you can understand signs, then you understand God, because he does nothing without signs. So let's get to the Congress for Democratic Change. The party National Executive Committee released a statement on what it termed the collapse of accountability, normalization of sexual violence, bogus charges against December 17 protest leaders, and moral crisis of governance under the Boubacar Koné government. The statement is under the signature of the party's chairman, Jangako, Anthony at Law, Jangako. But before we get there, let's have a listen to this one, please.
George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Yes, the statement from the Congress for Democratic Change, the National Executive Committee of the Congress for Democratic Change, on the collapse of accountability. It said, normalization of sexual violence, bogus charges against December 17 protest leaders, and moral crisis of governance under the Boakai Corn government. The National Executive Committee of the Congress for Democratic Change addresses the Liberian people, our international partners, and the global conscience at a moment of profound national anguish and moral reckoning. Liberia today stands not only merely at a crossroad of governance, but at the edge of a humanitarian and ethical abyss where the most vulnerable, our women, our children, and our communities are left exposed to violence, while those entrusted with power enjoy protection, delay, and silence. We condemn in no uncertain and unequivocal terms the bogus charges that have been brought against leaders of the December 17 peaceful protest by the government of Liberia. We view these charges as the reemergence of the old tactics of intimidation of perceived political opponents. Such tactics have no place in this democracy, and we have struggled to build and sustain. At a time when the administration of President Joseph Yoma Boakai and the Unity Party government seek to protect moral authority abroad and posture them diplomatically on international conflicts on the United Nations, the Liberian state is collapsing in war. The most basic duty of government, the protection of human life and dignity, has been abandoned. Hospitals remain without medicines, schools without resources, communities without safety, and families without justice. These are not abstract policy failures. They are life traumas etched into bodies, minds, and graves across the country. Nowhere is this failure more devastating than in the normalization of sexual violence and impunity under the state watch. Liberia has been forced into a dangerous and shameful new normal, one in which rape, gang rape, and sodomy occurred with alarming frequency, why accountability remains absent. This is no longer a statistical problem. It is human tragedy measured in names, ages, and irreversible laws. We mourn little Michelle of Petty Town, a child whose life was cut short in a society that failed to protect him. We mourn not only Michelle, but the countless unarmed girls and boys whose suffering never reaches the headlines, whose trauma is buried under fear, stigma, and institutional indifference. Since the ascendancy of the Bouacar administration in January 2024, Liberians anticipated a rescue. Liberians did not imagine that the visible realities of rescue will manifest in the widespread violation of children's bodies and the erosion of moral restraint within the state itself. The data tells a brutal story. In 2024 alone, Liberia recorded 3,957 reported cases of rape and gender-based violence. In just the first 3 quarters of 2025, both before the year even concluded, an additional 1,735 rape cases were reported. These figures do not represent justice. They represent a nation overwhelmed and unprotected. Behind these numbers are children with names and ages. In 2025, a certain Deputy Minister of Youth Development, J. Brian McGill, was accused of raping a minor. In the same year, Sando Kroman, a contractor associated with the Ministry of Agriculture, was accused of raping a 15-year-old boy. Most horrifying of all, Peter Bonjala, a senior official of the National Security Agency, has been implicated in the alleged gang sodomy of a 14-year-old boy. These are not distant criminals operating on the margins of society. These are individuals linked to state authority, public trust, and institutions mandated to protect the young. What compounds this national trauma is not only the violence itself, but the silence that follows. Stalled investigations, persecutions fade, institutions close ranks. The message delivered to Liberian children is devastating to their pain. It's noticeable that power shields perpetrators and that justice is selective. A country cannot claim moral standing domestically or internationally when 15-year-old children are brutalized while alleged perpetrators remain insulated by proximity to power. This collapse of accountability cannot be separated from the broader pattern of state abuse. While children are violated in private spaces, citizens are brutalized in public. Matthew Mulva was shot dead by police gunfire. Musu Kiatamba, 5 months pregnant, was assaulted by a senior police commander. These acts from a single narrative of a state that has grown indifferent to human life and dignity, whether the victim is a protesting citizen, a pregnant woman, or a child. At this painful domestic reality, the Bouacar government has chosen to invest political energy in controversial international alignments, including Liberia's recent posture at the United Nations on Venezuela. Through its permanent representative, Louis Brown, Liberia spoke in the language of sovereignty and dialogue abroad, while failing to defend the sovereignty of its own citizens' borders at home. The Congress for Democratic Change formally and unequivocally distances the Liberian people from this posture, which does not reflect our national priorities, live realities, or moral obligations. This distancing is further compelled by serious and unresolved allegations circulating within civic and governance monitoring cycles that foreign financial influence may have compromised Liberia's diplomatic judgment. While these claims remain allegations and have not been independently adjudicated, their gravity demands transparent and independent investigation by credible national and international anti-corruption mechanisms. A nation cannot afford even the perception that its foreign policy is susceptible to private inducement while its children remain unprotected. Liberia's historic relationship with the United States, the African Union, ECOWAS, and the European Union, and the broader international community has been built on shared commitments to democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. That relationship must not be reduced to diplomatic cover for domestic failure. International partners must recognize that the actions and statements of the current administration cannot necessarily represent the will, conscience, or suffering of the Liberian people. The Congress for Democratic Change therefore calls on the international community to engage Liberia with moral clarity. Any diplomatic or policy differences arising from the conduct of the Bouakakon administration should be directed toward accountable decision makers, not toward an already traumatized population. Finally, Liberia does not need lectures about stability while children are raped, women assaulted, and citizens brutalized without justice. Stability built on suffering of minors is not stability. It is moral decay. History will offer no refuge to leaders who preside over the erosion of human dignity while speaking the language of morality abroad. Nations are ultimately judged not by speeches delivered in international halls, but by whether they protected the innocent when it mattered most. The Liberian people deserve a government that defends life with urgency, prosecutes abuse without fear of favor, and treats justice not as a privilege of power, but as a right of citizenship. The Congress for Democratic Change reaffirms its unwavering commitment to accountability, human dignity, and the defense of the Liberian people. We appeal not only to institutions, but to human conscience. Silence in the face of these crimes is complicity. Indifference is endorsement. Liberia must not be allowed to sink into a future where violence is normalized, children are expendable, and justice is optional. The National Executive Committee, the Congress for Democratic Change. The statement from CDC. It couldn't have come at a better time, and it couldn't have been penned as you heard it. Yes. That will take us to what unfolded in the legislature, particularly the House of Representatives on yesterday. It was my first time to have seen Representative Moiman Briggs Menza displaying such behavior on the floor. She had been calm, responsive, intelligent, and articulative of the issues. She was almost thrown out of session, as it is the custom of the two Unity Party dictators, Richard Cohn and Thomas Fowler. The two men got vexed when Representative Moiman Briggs Menza called for a proper and decent voting procedure, which is the normal. Just so you know, she is a member of Liberia's delegation to ECOWAS, a ranking member, not just a member, but a high-profile member. Representative Member Briggs Menza objected to Unity Party Speaker, Regime Speaker Richard Kun, insisting on voice vote. Voice vote is where you say yay, nay. All those in favor say yay, all those against nay. That's what it's referred to as voice vote. That had Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala vexed and came out with a threat of throwing her out of the floor. Not only that, but if she didn't behave herself, she will lose her position at ECOWAS. No time, she threw out a temper tantrum unregrettably. Have a listen.
You can control the floor and get a vote. You can do such a thing with nay and nay. Again, let me be on the record for that. Not because you just you can control the floor and do. You can control the floor and get a vote. You can do such a thing with nay and nay. Again, let me be on the record for that. Not because you just you can control the floor and do that. But you can do this and embarrassing us. How can you have everyone portion and you can all of them portion? It's not dependent. You say yeah, nay. That's why you just need to do the right thing. And we're not going nowhere because I'm not talking the wrong thing. That will drive me all here today. And we're not going to try something, I'll kick you. No, I will talk the thing that is right. That is why I'm not. When you fall, the right thing must be done. The right thing, no, you can't remember. You must want one thing, the wrong thing will not be done. You will now tolerate it. I want to when you go and drag me all here today. And we're not going to try something, I'll kick you. And we're not. You can control the floor and get a vote. You can do such a thing with nay and nay. Again, let me be on the record for that. Not because you just you can control the floor and do that. But you can do this and embarrassing us. How can you have everyone portion and you can all of them portion? It's not dependent. You say yeah and nay. That's why you just need to do the right thing. And we're not going nowhere because I'm not talking the wrong thing. That will drive me all here today. And we're not going to try something, I'll kick you. Drag me all here today. And we're not going to try something, I'll kick you. No, I will talk the thing that is right. That is why I'm not. When you fall, the right thing must be done. And we're not going to try something, I'll kick you. No, I will talk the thing that is right. That is why I'm not. When you fall, the right thing must be done. The right thing, no, you can't remember. You must want one thing, the wrong thing will not be done. You will now tolerate it. I want to when you go and we can. I don't go to international parliament to understand the CIB. There's no one who will come and open the bottle for me. What punish me? Stay for me, then. He said, "Thank you for me. I will not die." Take care, you fella. You can tell all your community. I was standing. I'm fully saying I will pass for there. Let me be on the right. This is mentioned. You can control the floor and get a vote. You can do such a thing with nay and nay. Again, let me be on the record for that. Not because you just you can control the floor and do that. But you can do this and embarrassing us. How can you have everyone portion and you can all of them portion? It's not dependent. You say yeah and nay. That's why you just need to do the right thing. And we're not going nowhere because I'm not talking the wrong thing. That will drive me all here today. And we're not going to try something, I'll kick you. No, I will talk the thing that is right. That is why I'm not. When you fall, the right thing must be done. The right thing, no, you can't remember. You must want one thing, the wrong thing will not be done. You will now tolerate it. I want to when you go and we can.
Yeah, that's how I can show you can't remember. I'll kick you.
Do such a thing with nay and nay. Again, let me be on the record for that. Not because You just you can control the floor and do that. But you can do this and embarrassing us. How can you have one portion and you got all of them portions and it's not dependent? You say yeah. That's why you just need to do the right thing. I will not go nowhere because I'm not talking the wrong thing. That will drive me all of you today. I will not go into California. I'll take you. No, I will talk the thing that is right. That is why when you go, the right thing must be done. The right thing, no, you can't know. You will not want to see the wrong thing will not be done. You will not tolerate it. I want to when you go, we can. I don't go to you to national parliament and you say the KIB. There's no one who's going to open the mouth for me. What punish me? Stay a committee there. You say plenty for me. I will not die. Take care. You fella. You can tell all your committee. I will stand there. I'm foolish. I will pass for there. Let me be on the local government. Last time I
All right, so that what it was yesterday at the House of Representatives. The representative had always exhibited a deportment or conduct representative of a lady and representative in that house that we can say with certainty. Yesterday, I think she really got vexed over her vexation, and she demonstrated a strong temper tantrum. She said, well, you can't, I'll kick you. What's the phone? Yeah, man. Those two guys are intimidating. On a serious note, those two guys are intimidating. Thomas Fowler and the regime speaker. Already, Thomas Fowler wants to be speaker. Rachel Kuhn don't know. Sorry to say, but Rachel Kuhn, he will sit there and he will witness. He will witness the swearing in of Thomas Fowler as the next speaker before 2029. You'll watch it. Rachel Kuhn thinks he is the speaker. Listen, anybody and everybody can say he has our support, he's our speaker. What did Peter not say to Jesus? What did Judas Iscariot not say to Jesus? What did they not say? Peter said, oh, I love you. You have all of my support. In fact, I love you with the agape love, not filial love. That's why he told Jesus. So Jesus said, are you sure? Because agape love, it goes beyond sacrifice. So it's not just mere words. So he said, oh, I love you. All of them say, oh, the speaker, we enjoy the confidence of our speaker. There's no need to remove the speaker. And the speaker is this, the speaker is that. All of those things are all flattery. Politicians are desperate. They are wicked to the core. There is only one core characteristic politician has: betrayal. Take it or leave it. They will splash you with all of the praises. They will flower you. At the close of the day, they will act like they have never seen you. What they did not do? They praised Fonati Kofa. They said Fonati Kofa was the best speaker. Fonati Kofa had his hand up, just like he on the street of Jerusalem celebrating. He felt that he had the confidence of his people because they said we had the confidence of our speaker. Fonati Kofa is our speaker. Fonati Kofa is this. They praised him all over. When the time came, what happened? The same people that said Fonati Kofa has our support, He is our speaker. Were the same people that brought claims against him and told him to get out. The same thing will happen to Rachel Kuhn. Thomas Fowler is the next speaker. Thomas Fowler wants to be speaker at all costs. Here is a hint. You know, one of the reasons that Thomas Fowler went against Fonati Kofa, he was not comfortable. There was an arrangement. Oh, look, let the man go. The election that brought Fonati Kofa to the speakership. The arrangement was, let the man go. 2029, we'll support you, we'll throw our weight behind you as the next speaker. That was the arrangement, just fast-tracking it. Thomas Fowler got uncomfortable. Why the party would tell him such? The party will not give its backing to him to become the next speaker. Instead, they put forth Fonati Kofa. If you saw that whole speakership that brought Fonati Kofa to that position, your man was not in nothing of a pre-plan for the deputy speaker. He was not. He was vexed. He was uncomfortable. He just distanced himself. Remember, Briggs Menza and the other people were in the running. You people saw how it went? Last minute of time, at the 11th hour, that went. He was persuaded in. And then he got the support. He got the support and got the appeasing vote. From that day, Thomas Fowler had never been uncomfortable. What you saw Thomas Fowler doing? Going on the side, acting like he playing a neutral role when they had the crisis, majority bloc, minority bloc. Then at one point in time, he said, oh, he has to go and reconcile. The two blocs can be at loggerhead. It is his role as a deputy speaker to go and reconcile. So he was going to the majority bloc to reconcile, which was a clear statement of departure by betrayal. Watch Thomas Fowler. Kofa era over. Is Richard Kuhn now. Thomas Fowler will do everything he can to dig under Richard Kuhn, and he will ascend. You know, sorry, not all Kisi people. This is not for all Kisi people. There are thousands of Kisi people who are just refined, good, intelligent, have not the kind of behavior that I'm about to talk about. I am referencing this man. This man in his Kisi self will betray. Already, what did Musa Belete say? Didn't Musa Belete say the man is the deputy, the prime minister? Musa Belete was not second guessing. They in there. All of them, they know. They know. They seeing things. They hearing things. They having discussions. They hearing some things. He did not go on the air to say Thomas Fowler is the most powerful man in the House of Representatives because he against Thomas Fowler. It's because what they have seen, what they continue to see, the kind of conversation from the executive, from the legislature, from both officials, the executive and the legislature. So he was not saying it to demean that man or to make him look bad in the public's eye. No, he was saying the reality. Thomas Fowler now is the most powerful man in the House of Representatives. I can tell you that Boakai now is more comfortable with Thomas Fowler than you think he is with Richard Kuhn. Richard Kuhn already there. He has the fleet of cards. He has the office. He has everything. But those things are transitory. Once the president starts losing confidence in you, what happened? The guys over there. Because when the president can say, I want a man, the rest of the guys over there, they'll find some kind of way to be petting you. At a certain point in time, they'll say, a vote of no confidence. What did we hear from Anthony Williams? Anthony Williams is one of those who was in the forefront, majority bloc, who defended his position for the removal of Fonati Kofa. When Fonati Kofa buy out, all of them express their happiness. The same Anthony Williams today saying that the House of Representatives is not Richard Kuhn's house. It's not his personal property. The man he elected, I'm just telling you how human beings, you can never trust human beings. If you are a Christian, read that verse, Psalm 41:9. Say, my own familiar friend, in whom I trusted, ate my bread with me, lift up his heels against me. They say Anthony Williams today, the man say that Richard Kuhn personal property, meaning anytime they can get him out. So Richard Kuhn, it's just a matter of time before Thomas Fowler is sent to that position. Thomas Fowler wants to be speaker. That's Thomas Fowler in. You go up your canal. If you have the opportunity to speak with Thomas Fowler one-on-one, he will tell you, why wouldn't I want to be president, to be speaker? Why wouldn't I? That's why you say, why wouldn't I? Meaning, I want to be speaker. Thomas Fowler wants to be speaker. So he should sit down there, suppressing his friends, disrespecting them. The man disrespected a woman. You can do that. The 18th century thing. All in favor say yeah, yeah. All against say nay, nay. That 18th century voting thing that way back, way back when technology was not. Instead, when modernism was far, most of what the people did was based on their limitations. There was in technology, there was no exposure, there was nothing. So whatever they had, whatever a person would think, that's what they would use. So if somebody came and said, oh, all those against, say nay, then they will say a nay. Those in favor, say yea, we say yea. That's how it was. You can use that today. We're in the age of technology. If the woman said, oh, chief, given the sensitivity of the discussions we are having, and it narrowed down to voting, we are 73 years. It can just be nay, yea. How do you know who all said yea, who all said nay? We're in an age of technology. You can do it. Do the normal count, and it will be seen. Everybody, how do we go to vote? Do we go to vote with nay, yea? Do we elect leaders with nay, yea? And as the normal voting physically, you use the same system. That thing is too archaic, too obsolete. Then they threaten the woman to pull her out. And this is the first legislature, the first House of Representatives to see that. Every little thing, put the person out. Put the person out. That's why the woman kept on knocking the decks and said, you can never, anybody come for me, I'll kick you. Every little thing. That place is an intellectual place. It's an intellectual den. If you can't stand the heat in the kitchen, as they say figuratively, then you get out. You are the presiding officer. What you see, what I was saying from the onset when Richard Kuhn was running, I told you when he got elected, I told you people he got forced election. I told you. I explained how Fonati Kofa is to handle that flow. The advantage Fonati Kofa had and still has is a lawyer. Lawyers, they have complete control of their psychology. 1. 2, they slow to speak. They listen more. So they have a good deal of psychology. They know how to handle individual and group of people. So that the advantage he had, not that Fonati Kofa did not get vexed or he was just a saint presiding over. No, but he knew that he was dealing with full-grown characteristics of different kinds, behavioral traits. So sometimes you see the guy in the house there, they're doing all kind of things, they're running across the floor, they're insulting the Lord. You hear Fonati Kofa, Honorable, let me use CDC person, Honorable Dexin Sibo, Honorable Dexin Sibo, here is Honorable Emmanuel Down, please take your seat. Honorable Emmanuel Down. I can tell whether during his reign, he ever put people outside, put lawmaker outside. Maybe it happened, but I don't know. I'm not saying that. It doesn't say it didn't happen. It's just that by my limitation, I know, I see it, I have not heard it, I didn't read it, so I can't say. It may have happened. This is the first, as far as I'm concerned, that the first Unity Party, House of Representatives, every little thing, put the man outside. And listen, only weakling does that. Only weakling, only a mental weakling does that. It tells you that, one, you have no control over yourself. The House of Representatives is just like your house with the children. You are parenting them. To parent or parenting, it's not easy. You're dealing with immature traits of all kinds, different. That's why when you see some people, the child doing this, the child doing that, they get vexed and slap the child as if that child is full grown. That's just how managing people in office or wherever you're managing 2-person, 3-person, 4-person, 5-person group. You have to have that self-control. It is not everything you get emotional. Previous speakers, they used to let go certain things, not that they could not talk as presiding over the floor, but they used to allow it pass. In that Senate, there are some things that the presiding officer, Yomli Kanga Lawrence, can allow to pass. Not that she can speak to it, she can speak to it. But simple psychology will tell you, oh, look, leave it. Let it go. Especially when it's not going to have a strong bearing on the flow. Not going to be disruptive of the issues that are being discussed. But these guys, every little thing, they pick it up. Then they go to their solution. Put a man outside. Put a man outside. Richard Kuhn will be saying, put a man outside, put a man outside. One day, his colleagues will put him outside. One day, they will say, put him outside. Or they will put him outside. Every little thing, put a man outside. Put a man outside. They were calling the sergeant at arms to put Mema Briggs Menza outside. Put a man outside. Put a man outside. That's the only thing regime speaker know. He know that he meant Thomas Fala escorting him gradually. Thomas Fala wants to be speaker. And Thomas Fala will be speaker. When Thomas Fala becomes speaker, CDC returns to the speakership. You will see in this government, in this time, you will see betrayal in its mystery nature. You will put him on your head and say, the how human being looking. God. Richard Kuhn will move from over there. Bwaka not satisfied with him. Already he's caught in infidelity. Multiple wives all over the place. He doesn't have ability over the flow. He has bad working relationship. The people who supported him are the same people. They're saying the real Richard Kuhn, they're uncomfortable. Some of them, they want to voice it out. Anthony Williams voiced his own out yesterday. The man said, and I'm Richard Coon's house. If he performs, he will stay. But if he doesn't perform, they will take him out because it's not a personal property. He said the House of Representatives is not his personal property. And he's right. It's not everything. Put the person outside. Sergeant Arm. You will be saying Sergeant Arm. Put the person outside. Sergeant Arm will not put you outside, but your colleagues will put you outside. You think you off the hook, Richard Coon? You are not off the hook with that your sexual affair thing. Don't be carried away, Richard Coon, because few of your colleagues saying we don't want to remove the speaker. We're not going to remove the speaker. No meeting. Chief, just sit down and think about Jesus Christ and Peter. Think about Jesus Christ and Judas. Think about Jesus Christ and the other people. They say, oh no. Peter said, no. The same people saying no today. No to removing speaker. No, we're not removing speaker. The same people, when they get ready to remove you, they said no to Fonati Kofa. They said, we're not removing Fonati Kofa. He's our speaker. He enjoys our confidence. We enjoy the confidence of Speaker Kofa. The same people came back and said, moving. So you think you are law and gospel, Richard Coon? Thomas Fala be the next speaker. Sit down there, Thomas Fala digging under you. He's digging under you gradually. Before you can realize that you're out. The guys in the executive not too satisfied with you. Then let's go to Councillor Tiawan Gonglo. He wrote the police director, asking the police director to do the needful. Since he said he investigated, it becomes public information. And I should tell you in this, the police director has nothing to hide. He has nothing to insist on. There is a law to receiving public information. They call it Freedom of Information Act. When you want something, you go through the procedure, you get it. That means if you say, Kings Evans say there's XYZ on certain things, they want that information, they can't hide it. The law say you must provide it, except it is based on, this certain things. But other than that, your mere thing like they 1 year, you got to bring it out. Then you say you conduct an investigation. You did DNA sampling and all the things. The lawyer is saying, we agree with you, but Honorable Police Director, please give us the report. And just so you know, Councillor Tiawan Gonglo is the lawyer for the 14-year-old girl that was allegedly raped by J. Brian McGill, whom Unity Party Police Director Gregory Coleman released and say nothing. Here is the letter. Let me read the letter word for word, because that communication to the police boss. He said, we present our compliments and write in our capacity as legal counsel to the family of the minor child, age 14, who in September 2025 reported an allegation of rape against J. Brian McGill, former Deputy Minister of Youth and Sports for Youth Development. We are informed by the family that on January 12, 2026, the Liberia National Police released a final investigative report to the public, indicating that the suspect was found not to be culpable, following extensive investigative measures, including forensic and technical analysis conducted both locally and internationally. While we acknowledge the efforts of the Liberia National Police in conducting what appears to have been a thorough investigation under challenging circumstances, we respectfully request, in the interest of transparency, fairness, and the rights of the victim, that the following be formally made available to the family through the undersigned counsel. 1. The complete final investigation report issued by the Liberia National Police. 2. Copies or certified summaries of forensic and scientific findings, including but not limited to: A. DNA analysis reports conducted outside Liberia. B. CCTV and digital forensic analysis reports. C. Any medical or laboratory findings relied upon. A summary of the methodology and standards applied in reaching the investigative conclusion of non-culpability. This request is made without prejudice and should not be construed as an accusation or a challenge to the professionalism of the investigating officers. Rather, it is grounded in the well-established principle that where a minor alleges a grave offense and an investigation is conducted without prosecution, the complainant and her family are entitled to understand the evidentiary basis of that conclusion. Transparency in such sensitive matters is essential not only for the confidence of the affected family, but also for sustaining public trust in the integrity and impartiality of law enforcement institutions, particularly in cases that have attracted huge public attention and involve exceptional investigative procedures. We respectfully request that the above referenced materials be made available within a reasonable time, and kindly ask that all correspondence be directed through undersigned counsel. This is Councillor Tiawan Gonglo letter to the police director that they need everything the investigation he claimed to have carried out that he used to clear J. Brian McGill as not being the person who allegedly raped the girl, and that the alleged rapist, according to him, is at large, meaning the rapist is on the run. They are in search for him. Again, we will talk about this. We'll talk about this given the diabolical act. This is one of the issues that the Congress for Democratic Change talk about in its statement. And the police director said gang rape or gang sodomy. Peter Bonjala, whether he is a Unity Party partisan, but this issue is grave, it's serious, it's magnitudinal, it's just everything. Though vast majority of the population refuse to condemn it, it does not have anything politics. Those who often say take politics out of it whenever it involves an issue or it is about them, then they will say take politics out of it. This one has no politics in it. The boy was willfully, intentionally, unregrettably, with a premeditated intent, sodomized by Peter Bonjala and his two colleagues that are on the run. It makes no sense to people to condemn it. It makes no sense for pastors to speak to it, even though the Bible forbids sodomy. One of the reasons God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, you will say that was Old Testament situation. Even in the New Testament, God condemned it in this time. He condemned it. It's in the very Bible, Romans, the introduction of Romans. Nobody wants to say anything to it because no one wants to be seen as condemning it. Then the Minister of Information. That's how I see some of the pastors, advocates, women advocates, male advocates, whatever, civil society organizations, so that the government does not go to the Ministry of Information through Jeremy Pia to blast them. So everybody remaining mute. But just as J. Brian McGill issue is still floating, Peter Bond Jala diabolical act is still floating. Every day we talk about it. Whoever thought that this will happen in Unity Party government, the cleanest government on earth, the government that came to power with equity? Whoever thought that rape would be in Unity Party government when they used rape yesterday as one of the weapons against the CDC government? Whoever thought sodomy would be in this government? At least in the CDC government, we did not hear of boys being sodomized. Whoever thought the energy that people put in to condemn drugs of all kinds, why can't they use that same energy to condemn what this man has done? And the only reason why the people think that it is not necessary, because Peter Bond Jala is a Unity Party person and a government official. Even though NSA say they dismissed the man. Come on, that thing here is just a charade. The same thing they do with police officers, immigration, you see them stay around. They stay in a corridor. That mere announcement. The man knows that he's not dismissed, that he was laughing, enjoying himself, and saying mission accomplished. Even if the boy died, no, I won't get time. I was just going to sit down somewhere. Less than no time, I will be free and find a way to get out of this country. At least we succeeded in messing him up. That's why the man was laughing the way he was laughing. Again, it doesn't make sense to you. But one day, it may not be the same thing, but something will happen within your family and you want people to condemn it. And we will sit here and support it. Martin Luther King said, injustice to one is injustice to all. Hurt to one is hurt to all. Sodomy to one is sodomy to all. It doesn't make sense to you. We realize that since the Unity Party government came, whenever they do something, nobody wants to talk. Everybody just leave it. So you know what you're saying? You think that you are supportive of the government, or you think it ain't necessary. You're only saying that everything you said against the CDC government was a lie. And you portray the Unity Party as coming in as the best government, yet they made you people shame. Look, listen to the staggering figures that the Congress for Democratic Change released on rape. Look at the numbers are so staggering. 3,000 in 2024. In 2024, 3,957 rape cases. My people, there were rape cases in Weah's regime. I can't say it wasn't Charles Taylor, there were rape. There were alleged rape in Charles Taylor time, Judy Bryant time, the interim government, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Weah. These things don't occur by the government. Some of them by the government, as we see Peter Bonjala, but not all the government. And so when you try talking, yesterday they would say no, that the CDC government, the government officials raping people, children all over the place. But yeah, it's a CDC government. I think if you go back and do the research, I don't think you will even reach 50 or 60 rape cases. The cleanest government, the cleanest, the holy of the holiest rape case, 3,957 recorded by the party in 2024. 1,735 rape cases were reported according to the party stats. Peter Bonjala sodomized, that nasty thing. That's what the people do. That's why you people need to be careful. We'll continue to advise you people, young boys, young girls. You'll be careful who you're going around, why you're going around. You'll be careful with these United Party people. When they get money, when people get money, they can do anything. You'll be careful with these United Party people. When Thomas Edridge and the rest of the people reported in their interview with Anthony Adlaw, A.B. Weah, that sodomy was going on at NSA. The United Party people said that the opposition station, that George Weah station. So they're saying all kinds of things. Fast forward, God say, I will make you people to know that's true. What Thomas Edridge said, that's true. Where the man came from? NSA. NSA. 3 persons. 3 persons. That tells you that they have certain people there that their job to sodomize. 3 persons, not only Peter Bonjala. The police director, Gregory Coleman, said the other 2 on the run. So it is the normal, they have certain people there to sodomize boys. When they take you, they're boys, men. The Unity Party, Unity Party, how nasty, dirty, stink, or such you would do. You be careful. Those of you who running all around, you want money, you want car, you won't be saying, hey, these United Party people will sodomize you. At the end of the day, you end up going. Just how many boys left in Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government? Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government, and what they were doing here, that Robert Sirleaf thing. They just went with young boys. When they carry one to the hospital, the nurses say, no, we can't touch our one. Oh, but nurse now, or nurses. Why you're not treating the nurses? Say, I know. Hey, man, nurses, you don't do that. That human left here, man. Why you're not telling the nurses they ain't want to talk? Oh, but I have job now. But they want to talk. they know what's up. United Party people know them for sodomizing that area. Let's go to the line, yeah. You keep dropping, please. You remember our basket. The basket with your 0555885 0555885. That's the same wave. The local mobile money number 077-017-885 077-017-885. Our partners, Radio Entertainment through us is giving 4,000, and then they will give you free 8,000. So a double. That's what they call double. The money you're playing for, that 8,000, Then the people say, since you playing, we'll give you extra 4,000 free. And that normal thing, people can do it. They can do it. That normal thing. Hear me, anything. Free 4,000. I wish we had the opportunity to play. We're coming to be playing to get, you know what I mean? Somebody say, play 100, play with just $100 Liberian dollars or 70 cents US for 4,000. When you play it, we give you extra 4,000. Why wouldn't I? That blessing right there. Play it. Dial star 79 and star 24 hatch. Play with 100 Liberian dollars or 70 cents US. That's all. And then you have your 4,000. Let's go to the line, but let's read some of the comments. We always go into the line first. So this time around, let's read some of the comment. Then we can get to the line. Gabriel West say there are more of Peter Bon Ujala in this reckless UP government. Young boys and men, be very careful. Emmanuel Bro says, I am happy that Councillor Tiawan Segonglo wrote LMP about its final report concerning J. Brian McGill's alleged rape case. The councillor raised several serious issues in his letter to the LNP. ACN Menza said, yes, one day, they will put Richard Kuhn outside. Bogana satisfied with that man. My future play Richard Kuhn will go very soon. He's on a sinking sand. Gabriel West, Fala is greedy and is a dangerous figure. But again, it will be Jones Palmer West on Jones' rise. Okay. Rita Hart, 1963. Yes. Mema Briggs Menza says she will kick. Say, I will kick you. The woman was too vexed. Was it anybody? I will kick you. Let's go now. Let's take few calls and then we are out for today. 0000772 2399 33 0886 304497. The women's line 0777 980375. Cut your radio off before you call. Cut your radio off. Don't keep the radio on. You don't have to listen to yourself. Just imagine yourself on Broad Street or anywhere in your area that you will not need speaker to listen to yourself. It is the same way with calling in a radio station. Cut the radio off. It is not for you to hear yourself. It is for the people who are listening to the radio to hear you. That's what it is. The great America, Europe, everywhere, when they're calling into radio station, they can cut the radio off. Meaning they don't have to listen to themselves. They only want to send a message across. The people who are listening to the radio will hear them. That's when the person can say, oh, my man, I heard you on the air. Oh, you are explaining this, you are explaining that. Simple. So don't keep your radio on. The next thing you need to know, all these numbers here, they program into the radio station system. So when you call 0772 2399 33, it coming straight to us. It will not go to another person. When you call 0886 30 4497, it coming straight to us. It will not go to another person. When you call in 0777 980375, it will come straight to us. So you don't got to worry, except you missed the number. We get it? So let's go now. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, my name is Testimony Jadrian. I do call from Jakarta. Thank you for your talking point. You know, actually, it is frustrating on the serious note. You rightly stated it. You said that. Hello.
Yeah, you are, Chief.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is embarrassing situations to the young people of this country, most especially the man. You know, in the other government, rape cases were going on, but it was not carried on by the government officials. But in this administration, government officials, they are raping young children of our country. On a serious note, it is very much embarrassing. Why is it that government official will go to the extent of raping someone that is underage? It is not good. You know, we heard they say around that in Liberia, the Methodist Church was trying to sound this gay right. So when the noise came up, they tried to call it.
Chief Judge, what are you saying? What is your point? Go straight to the point.
Yeah, the
phones are ringing.
Is such it is not really good for us in this country.
All
we
right.
need to stand against it.
Okay,
so
it's
that
understood.
it can come to an end. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for the topic of discussion. Hey, it's recording from Geneva Road. You see, my brother, since the government, you see the opposition leader there, so there is an argument, and then you Tiawan Congo, you see the group of radio station, talking about the US in the government, they can do it. Tiawan Congo, don't join the regime. You people of radio station talking. The big taking from CP, foreign,
So what?
Don't not do it, my brother.
But how do you refer to the one that he's doing now? Wait, my man. All right, thank you, because you even understanding you get a noise in the background. Well, if you're not following events, you're forced to call into radio station. You just hear me explain the man something. Tiawan Gongo been talking here and there. Then you say they're not talking. When you're not following events, you're forced to call into radio station. People call are following events and know, so they say with certainty. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Madam,
when you call your name. It is not for us, it's for people that are listening to you. You just call and you start talking.
The point that I have is rape to smack children and boys and get to they are white. They will not do nothing. Secondly, some of them, it will quite hard. It will move out to the speaker and will move. When you move, everybody will be dancing in the time and laugh. I mean, not Kofa do anything to them in our war. They honor my Kofa move. I enjoy the woman, the senator, the woman. What is it? Mama priest. I enjoy. I hear a voice. You were talking. I was laughing. You were laughing. Thank God. Thank you, Papa.
All right. The reason we can call our name, we can call our name. Not that we can hold back our name, but we have to call the name because the people who listening, so they will know who presenting. That the same way, when you call your name. So yeah, they say St. Andrews. That the reason that when someone listening to the radio first, they say, oh, okay, they will just call to identify St. Andrews. They listen to the radio, A.B. William, because they hear the name A.B. William. But when you don't call your name, the people who listening, they will not know. They want to know who making what statement. Don't be afraid. Nobody chasing you. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Samadi.
Yes. Hi, sir.
Are you getting me?
Yes, sir. You are on the air.
Okay, thank you very much for your show. Mr. Samadi, this is our David Samuel. I joined a discussion for Kuminga marking the legacy of former President Weah. Because Sam Andrew, you see, I'm getting to notice something in this country. Our president pronounced something in this country and this thing actually is happening. He said that he's dance with the devil and some of the demonic thing happening in this regime. So I'm wondering where the devil has sent all the ministers and other people in the government.
It's very hard for us to have to be very, very careful. And then people are very invited in this country. That's only to take it for granted. All food going to people need to be careful with all that going in this country. Thank you very much, man.
All right. The women, you're gone off. Let's go. Hello.
Hello, Andrew.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Wilson from Korea.
Yeah, let's hear you. So we'll cross over to the women's line.
Okay. Andrew is for woman to get first. I never see it before. That one first.
Oh, you never see
One
woman.
woman,
Wait.
that man will get out.
Wait, see Sabato. You never see woman getting vest?
I never see it. The one first too much.
No, my man, no.
You can't bring the police and you're going
Wait,
to
Sabato. Wait, Sabato. You say. But you say you never see woman getting vest. So since you bring on F, you see woman getting vest here?
I don't see the way she talks. What do you want to get better than that? No.
But
I never see woman get better than that.
Okay.
I will not lie to you.
All right. Okay.
Come up for your show.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
You are on the air.
Okay. The web is sacrifice our children state to the state. Take it. Well, I guess it. Hello. Oh, you call me up?
You on the air, man. Better talk. I listening to you. I gotta be saying yeah. You on the air.
Okay. Sorry. The setting taking I want to report that in a Saturday 1 year or more. This is what I'm saying for that. But I can't story for that. You like to see that? You see that I can't get there. So my father say that this is how we're talking now. Say, where's your whole time? Really, no.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, Andrew.
Yeah.
This is Samuel from State Street. Yes, Andrew. You see what God can do? That time my kid, the money I spent in the same way that even if he go free, the next government will take cash. Then 10 calls, they coming on now. But in the hospital, John Palmer waits on John Reza, it will carry. The same way, and they just Fonantikofa at the same thing coming, he come back to him. Who was more than Fonantikofa, he full of peace. From all angles, he attacking him. He will move by the grace of God, he will move. Then the person who moving Nigeria, like brutal, serving Nigeria from the back. So it do see because he did it to Fonantikofa, the same thing will happen. Anything you do to somebody under this phone, it will happen to you. Except God is not God. Except we're not calling the Almighty God. But God will never allow no people to go free. Because the wickedness too much, and the wickedness too much. Wickedness too much. He must be there time. He must every day battling also. Your child also. Battling also. Oh God, let God come and help us to free. Or let you have mercy on us. Let you feel sorry for us. Because if you come for us before 2020, now who will remain? Oh God, we beg you, come for us. Thank you, Father. Thank you.
Hello. Yeah.
That's on the line, man.
Yeah, let's hear you.
Ambassador, I'm calling for clarity. How was your day?
Yeah, fine. We thank God for life.
Okay. Well, we want to see my next one, Baba.
Oh, it seems so.
Yeah, I want to see my next one. I want to
who you singing the song? You singing the song to Regime Deputy Speaker, Regime Speaker?
Yeah, so I feel no remember grab me. I don't master what. You don't want to do karate ball in the
house. The Moses when the game rush, you will kick them.
Don't kick. You're poking the body stomach. And for karate photo like I carry over at karate. That's what karate, yeah. Go far, go, go far, go. We tire, go far, go. You say, I'm going to crying for them. Not cry. Anyone committee? Anyone committee say we are putting our committee. The man was trying, then was doing the as was before they. So then the move over. What you want to keep for summer? Come on, said to us. No, let me call and why me and me say who's talking for us? They may speaking out. They may talking for the dead power. It's actually they're talking. We just let broom man. They may talking. You can see a more purpose than more, but the man for the more.
Yeah, Councillor Tiawan Gonglo.
Yes, it's always speaking. So the city of Waka is saying the power was upon the one going on must stop it. And you want the report. And I want for you to do for us. Report for them and what is that? Get it from what from him.
You say what gonna you say what the many?
Oh, Mama, Papa, you have to ask the question.
No, but I don't understand it.
You want to forget it, bro?
Oh? No, they say Gale Brown. They say Gregory Cuomo.
Oh, Salakarate. When I say Gale Brown, when they walk on, then you say for them. I say Gale Brown. Then you say what you again?
But Gale Brown are different person.
Brown rep they get?
Gale Brown a woman.
And a brown rep they get. Brown rep, they men talking. They will get Gale come and say, the other ones, I know her. You understand? They will get a lot get a come. He say, I know the person yet. Then the man come in and speak for the man saying that he cannot do anything. He's a judge, he's a lawyer, he's a speaker for him. He will do the everything that quote that inside there doing it to Central. So I'm calling all that man. So I say, Gongolo, we beg you. You don't know what's going on now. Speak out and you cannot speak out. We want to report for them when they get out the court and they plan a report to Laburo. So let him send it out. Let's see the report. Say all of them man, he's not for anything, he knows that for anywhere he's find out there. We won't see it. And you say for what see it. So Mesa my Mesa will make you start kicking. Go be a cool. And you want that cool who want the best name for you? You're thinking something that is like something happening in the hall.
You enjoy the woman, eh?
No, I read your house. We can't will kick you. I will know where you will get me.
All right, Dr. Masisi.
Okay.
All right.
This is mentioned. You can control the floor and get a vote. You can do such a thing with yeah and nay. Again, let me be on the record for that. Not because you just you can control the floor and do that. But you can do this and embarrassing us. How can you have everyone portion and you got all of them portion and it's not together you say yeah and nay. That's why you just need to do the right thing. I will not go nowhere because I'm not talking the wrong thing. That will drive me all of here today. Go nowhere because I'm not talking the wrong thing. That will drive me all of here today. Go nowhere because I'm not talking the wrong thing. That will drive me all of here today. Go nowhere because I'm not talking the wrong thing. That will drive me all of here today. Go nowhere because I'm not talking the wrong thing. That will drive me all of here today. The right thing. I will not go nowhere because I'm not talking the wrong thing. That will drive me all of here today. The right thing. I will not go nowhere because I'm not talking the wrong thing. That will drive me all of here today. The right thing. I will not go nowhere because I'm not talking the wrong thing. That will drive me all of here today. I will not go. It's a tiny Sunday. I'll kick you. It's a tiny Sunday. I'll kick you. Yeah, 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 it's a tiny Sunday. I'll kick you. Me all of here today. I will not go. It's a tiny Sunday. I'll kick you. Me all of here today. I will not go. It's a tiny Sunday. I'll kick you. Me all of here today. I will not go. It's a tiny Sunday. I'll kick you. All of here today. I will not go. It's a tiny Sunday. I'll kick you. Me all of here today. I will not go. It's a tiny Sunday. I'll kick you. Drive me all of here today. I will not go. It's a tiny Sunday. I'll kick you.
Hello. Hello.
Good afternoon, Sir Manju.
Yep.
I'm Jeanette Gator. I'm calling from Mama Point.
Yeah, let's hear you, Jay.
Sir Manju, God not sleeping, and God will never sleep until the justice is supposed to be served to those who are supposed to receive justice. You see, the United Party people, they came with lies, and everything they were saying yesterday, they're doing it today. Even the unborn baby said Noah going in. So I pray to God, let God keep exposing them. Yesterday they lied, they say Those boys then that left in the water, so we are dead, so we are dead. The men are innocent men. Me, I can remember when I'm making in Labrador here, when he went to go this, I'm not showing the phone. Godric in Bommy. He never had gun, he didn't come with gun, but he brought football, and all of them followed him. And me, I one of the beneficiaries to him because after the war, he gave us scholarship, and I was one of the beneficiaries for that scholarship. And I agree today that because of Jawia. So all the lies then they're protecting against that man there, God will expose each and every one of them, and they will be brought to justice one by one. But I tell you was small because she a lady, maybe she can get compassion. But Joseph Blacker, he different. The United Party government was here is different. Even the Madam Sadiq United Party were all respect. Because she even had respect for the former president, Jawia. She considered him to be her son. But today, Joseph Blacker sees Jawia to be an enemy. Woe unto him. Woe unto him on one generation. That's all I get to say. Thank you, Papa.
All right, Jay. Hello. Yes, good afternoon.
This is Edmond Carr, and I'm the official in trade and keeping this fire to deliver. You know, the lady, she is speaking out of frustration because that's why she was kind of a diplomatic in the whole removal saga. At some point in time, she was fanatic. At some point in time, you say, remember?
Very true. You are you are a keen observer. That's true. You're right, Emoka.
Yeah. She was. You know, she was. So at the end analysis, she said she got to save ourselves and see what will unfold. But we knew what was happening. And then to come at this stage now to see what is happening, it's quite frustrating. And Richard, you know, all that you predicted about Richard Poon, it's coming to pass. He has no leadership ability. He want to apply that temperament everywhere at any time. You know what they're calling for a very, very joint one. What do you do to calm all down? So, okay, we'll look at it, we'll see what to do. Okay, just take your seat, control the floor. We'll see what to do. You are right. We need to finish. You subdue her. But you challenge her with that now. She go about telling you, I will kick him for sure. If you're going to try it, she is going to kick him. You see where we are going?
What if she get to kick?
Everywhere, man. And let me say, kudos to Gonglo. You know, every regime, when you are an advocate, there are different ways you carry on your advocate. And this one, Gonglo is taking on the government now. You're not rising. And this is a general call. We want it. Because you can't go do an investigation on the whole rape issue. You just let when you suspend. You just come, you say you are clear because all evidence gathered is not sure any side that you were responsible. This is why I said that the guy had been let go, Brian Magee, by Waka police. They had let their brother go. But in the court of public opinion, Brian Magee will not be let go. So we want other people with John Tiwan Gonglo to call on the body agent to release the report. We need it. You can't come and you just ask for us as if we are fool. We are not fool. Kudos to our party for that release. Let them go further by asking Brian Magee, or the body agent to release the report to us because we want to see it. We want to know how did he arrive where he is. So thank you, sir.
All right, Mr. Carr. Thank you for coming on to have a nice day.
What is the big news? The big news in the corridor. Are you planning to remove the speaker?
But this is not a speaker house. Are you one of those? This place is not a speaker office. It's not a personal property. It's not anybody's personal property. Anybody who falls below the belt in terms of legislative proceedings and or requirement, obviously it behooves the members to ask you to step aside.
Do you want the speaker out?
I'm saying to you now, if you perform below the belt.
In the corridor, are you planning to remove the speaker?
But this is not a speaker house.
Are you one of those?
This place is not a speaker office. It's not a personal property. It's not anybody's personal property. Anybody who falls below the belt in terms of legislative proceedings and or requirement, obviously it behooves the members to ask you to step aside.
Do you want the speaker out?
I'm saying to you now, if you perform below the belt. it behooves the members to say, what is the big news?
The big news in the corridor. Are you people planning to remove the speaker?
Are you? But this is not a speaker house.
Are you one of those?
This place is not a speaker office. It's not a personal property. It's not anybody's personal property. Anybody who falls below the belt in terms of legislative proceedings and or requirement, obviously it behooves the members to ask you to step aside.
Do you?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Well, yeah, hello. Who's today? Telephone now.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Samaju.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, you are on the air. Let's hear you.
Well, Samaju, my name is Mohammed Don Fofana Jr. What I joined a conversation from the Japan Free Will. Well, Samaju, I understand in the whole that these lawmakers are together with Richard Kuhn. Yeah. You know, because this guy.
Donzo, you went off. Hello.
How you doing, sir?
Yeah, fine.
I'm the voice of the common people. The common people chairman is joining me this afternoon from the show. Thank you very much for the conversation. We always said it, let us get our local side and the past of. What it has to do with the issue of Diamond and the police investigation. Let me say this. Our government shutdown has not provided anything like Prime Minister. For the way Gregory Cuomo is carrying himself, the way he's behaving, advocating the role of the court and the trial judge for himself, it seems to be he is the new Prime Minister in town. Now that he has given himself the power of Prime Minister and he performs like a Prime Minister, let us all get together as I'm doing now. If the council of churches that we have been calling it auxiliary grouping of the Unity Party, if they are not safe, if the voices that used to call themselves civil society groups, if they are not joining the place of worship or to be singing Jacob Black Eye or to be another auxiliary group.
All right, Chief.
If there is any religious council, Muslim council, or any faith-based organization, or any
Okay, Chief, thank you.
English benefit to Sabbath Jubilee. Let us keep call on the U.S.
Okay, thank you, sir. Hello.
Good evening, Sam Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam, this is Jimmy. I'm Jimmy. I call from Honorable Civil Avenue in the borough of Newtown. Okay, Sam, the issue as I understand Member Breeze frustration. You know, when you put trust in certain people and you put in the certain level when they can't deliver, they'll be frustrated. So Member Breeze and other lawmakers, not only Member Breeze alone, other lawmakers, they are frustrated in the speaker. And let me say thank you to Mr. Teon Konglo. You know, Teon fought for the government. Teon supported the government. But Teon have been focused against the government and been making a point seriously against the government. So I have to appreciate Teon for that. The issue is that Sam, they made that leader. Look at the point when they open your session. Look at the point where they look at the man standing on your bill. The speaker will take picture, posting for photo. They make it one or ten. You want your bill down. If they say the bill will see around the way.
Okay, Chief.
Yeah, so that means we have look at it. You don't forget about all the wood body. They will have even appear in the public.
I mean, the man I speak about. All right, Chief. Thank you, sir.
The water going.
Hello. Hello. Yeah. Oh, okay. Elder Council. Yeah.
Then you know, we that are in your. This is how I left for one to be brave to stand up for her right. Don't say in the 70s, contrary, yay, there you go. They want for the man to live that life, and they want trouble to support him, then they put in your offer. This is why she told them no when they came in front of her, she will kick them. I think we got another second lady to the former Chief Justice. She's very brave, I love her. Anthony Willempa, he was jumping up, but the last time they disgraced him by putting us out. So he had to speak that way. That way.
Oh, you follow that event, eh?
I follow it. You were talking like somebody that believe that causing noise.
Yeah, that based on that night, the man, he not too certified Rachel Kun. Here, Rachel Kun not close again. Oh.
He not certified. They disgracing that your homo crime.
Well, imagine blasting Rachel Kun a video.
And you know what happened again? Rachel Kun is a male feeder. So he want to, when he's sitting now, you want to thank, he can focus on people. You don't keep friends. You know how to keep friendship. Because he like this. And so the other betrayer that we even talking about him. So I thank you, Papa.
Okay. Have a nice day, Elder Council. Thank you all. You did extremely well to spice up the show. Real talk. You people have always been real, very realistic. Good. So let's have a very short break. Representative Yeke Koluba is on the verge of returning to the legislature. He sought approval to mourn the death of his biological mother, and he returns to the legislature, particularly the House of Representatives, soon. So with no talk, by our caption, George Weah returns to the presidency since late 2025, early 2026, but we have talked and you continue to talk. Unity Party people are talking that. So it is still on. We may not use the caption or come formally with the caption, but Unity Party had been talking that for us. You have been talking that, adding spice to it, since we didn't announce the return of Weah to the presidency late 2025, early 2026. Today, it returns. Weah returns to the presidency 2029. Unity Party is campaigning for Weah. We are gradually getting close. The legislature is preparing to receive whatever budgetary allocation or request from the legislature. The party is working. Not much is being done by Unity Party. They have fallen far short of anything progress. They have grounded almost all of their activities. They lie on the rain season with the road. They said, not the rain season, rain season, because they said it's still raining. They made the Environmental Protection Agency to think that it is professional institution by determining weather when it does not know anything by any meteorological standard. We are not in rain season. We are in dry season. Normally, it will rain for a day or two if you have been very observant of the years. And then it stops. For how many days now we have not had rain in the night, rain in the day? What they don't want you to know is what I am telling you. They are way behind and time is not in their favor. President Joseph Yema Boakai lie. Though you'll say, oh, you can tell an elderly person lie, but lie is just the same as not telling you, is not telling the truth. we have to drop certain petty things. Huh? If the person, I may not use the word lie, but I say you're not telling the truth, they say as lie. It's not the word, but the intent. That's why we get almost everything confused in our culture. Yeah? So just accept that the president lied. When you say something and it doesn't happen, it's a lie. It's a lie. So it's not about culture. It's about not being truthful. When the reality is not saying, I said, it is a lie. You can lie temporarily. You can be a permanent liar, a self-nurtured liar. So if the president said that they are turning across into 4 lanes and the work will start January, and the Minister of Public Works goes on the air and say they are getting ready, they're going to do X, Y, Z, and he goes to the legislature and tell the lawmakers that if we get ready to break things down, people should not blame us. And then nothing is happening. You come and tell the people that everything is grounded because we're in rain season. Is that not a lie? That is a lie. The clearing of houses, not necessarily for 4 lane. What are they boasting of? That they open the road, that there is no traffic jam. That's all. They're not going to do anything called 4 lane. The arrangement they enter into, everything disjointed. Whether they do it, they don't do it, and I know they're not going to do it, everything is working for the good of George Weah. The lie yesterday, they were in opposition, so they felt that everything presidency was easy. They portrayed themselves as knowing it all. Here we are today. 378 promises made, only 3. Only 3 they fulfilled. It is a disgrace, a shame. If any Unity Party person would think that means nothing, then something wrong with you mentally. Do you people see, have you people seen Bouaga lately? You've been observing Bouaga. You know that Bouaga has quieted himself. He's confused, don't know what to do now, because everything is upside down. IMF told them, your CAF agenda, it is not possible. The only way it will make a little sense, and you people, maybe you will have the edge of doing 1 or 2 things, is to look at, to take the whole thing by your scatter A. Your scatter A, your take all kinds of, because everything in at the end makes sense. You know what it means? Go sit down, using several months to redo or to do it all over. The arrest agenda, IMF say, is not realistic, meaning it makes sense. When something is unrealistic, somebody, when you're talking, and the person said, my man, I think you're talking is unrealistic. By the person reasoning, what you're saying does not match what the person sees or what the person is thinking. That in order to make sense to that person, you have to reorganize, you have to re-say A. Meaning it does not make sense to the person. When INF said that the arrest agenda is unrealistic, they simply said, all the people that put it in together, that guessing thing they were doing, nothing. They can't achieve anything in 5 years with 5-year plan. So you go back, you sit down, and you change everything. And that changing you will make, you must cut down plenty things. So you might hear that I arrest agenda when they bring it back, it will be 2 years or 2.5 years. And they said 285 machines. What happened? And they say no 18 or 19 already because no money. When we're telling you how it works in government, Unity Party people will not want to understand. You will hear the announcement. The World Bank and the Liberian government signed 28.4 million project or memorandum of understanding or loan, whatever. You think right there, the money in the bag, Augustine Gwangafan carrying it. When Bouaga took over, I think I have, Milo for Mr. President. When he announced to the legislature, he said he turning Gabriel Tucker Bridge into 4-lane. Blatant lie. Blatant lie. Listen, that bridge there, can Bouaga turn that bridge into a 4-lane? You know why we had Gabriel Tucker Bridge? Because the one that was there, it was forced that the country constructed a new bridge. It was just forced because it was rotting, damaged. Ellen fought her. The international community saw reason. They took it to Ellen's attention and said, Madam President, this bridge is a disaster in waiting. If this bridge is not reconstructed or you do not construct a new one, you might have hundreds of your people dying one day because this bridge will collapse. The international community took it to Ellen's attention. Ellen bought the idea. That's when they started soliciting funding, and the Japanese government took that responsibility. Bouaga comes now, he said he's raising morale. He lied to the nation. I am saying it this way because, listen, if you say that you're doing this, you start to see the signs. You start seeing the signs. When you want to turn that bridge, he was not specific. He said he will turn Gabriel Tucker Bridge into 4-lane. When you're going to turn it in a 4-lane, every time George Weah made a promise, he will give the year. And that's how you convince your people, and that's how they trust you. If you say you're turning Gabriel Tucker Bridge into 4-lane, then you will say and this is how you hear the people, even on the international scene. They say by 2027, the construction or expanding the bridge into 4-lane will begin. So all of the citizens in that country, they know in 2027, when they see the excavator, they see every other thing moving, they will have no problem. They will say, oh, but that's what the government said. The government said 2027. When you leave it hanging and the people seeing nothing, they conclude that you lie. Anything you say, they will not trust you. You look at the government, my people. It's not easy, it's rough. The Minister of Public Works, instead of the man talking about the 4 lane, how they all the kind of, you know what the man go talk? The man say they come in have conference. What kind of conference? Development conference. They come in study about development again. You didn't hear the public work minister? Public work minister that should be telling the nation 2025, in this month, we are moving with the construction of or the expansion of the bridge across. They say they're going to sit down to discuss development plan. At this point, you still be discussing development plan. The 19, I gave you the day they brought it there. They say the 19, they're starting the 19. They're going to sit down in Nima County. Free money again. It's going to be a Nima tea party, Nima lunch party. They're going to merry-make. They're going to waste money, waste resources. You have agenda. You say 5 years. Then you go in Nima County to sit down and discuss development plan. You know what that shows? Visionless. Visionless. The vice president, again, after several months, the vice president comes back to restate that the government is unable to create jobs. Just last week, the vice president made it clear again that the government is unable to create jobs. He used the same words that he used at Freeport. He said it is the government weakness, meaning they know how to create jobs. The same vice president, his bossman Joseph Yema Boaga gave him 45 days. 45 days to do an assessment and give a report on the business climate. The sideline Augustine Gaffwan, Liberia's independence anniversary. In Boaga address, he said he giving that responsibility to his vice president, and he gave his vice president 45 days. From that day of the country's anniversary to today, have we not reached 45 days? Maybe we won't reach 45 days here. But I think more than 45 days. The VP has not said anything. Have you people heard any report from him? Nothing. He does not know how to go about doing it. Boaga just felt that that's something easy that you in your house and then you can just manage the commerce of your house in no time. And it's good that time is going. So when we tell you all that we're gradually getting into 2029, the burden is not on the opposition. The burden is on the government, and things not really working for the government, and things not working for the government against the government is in the favor of the opposition, George Weah. Your Unity Party people, you get this? We're not controlling time. That God controlling time. Time not in your favor. What are you people doing all over the place? You're reacting. You're tend to reactionary government. You're just reacting, defending. And time going, time not in your favor. You people have not developed, have not made any significant progress. Time not in your favor, time going. Today is the 14th. 2-3 weeks from now, we'll be talking the middle of the month, of the year. It's working for the good of George Weah. You go ahead with your cliche that we are not coming back. We will not come back. Only a weakling can make that statement. A person who is afraid of his colleagues or his colleague makes that statement. In this situation, Unity Party is afraid of George Weah. So they say George Weah is not coming back. It's different from denying the ability of George Weah. It's different from denying the popularity of George Weah. It's different from denying the political heavyweight of George Weah. They are only acknowledging that George Weah has everything it takes to return to the presidency, but they don't want him to return to the presidency. That's all that statement is all about. Just listen to them carefully and analyze it. They are not saying that George Weah does not have the ability, that George Weah is not a political heavyweight, that George Weah is not a force, that George Weah can return to the presidency, but they just don't want George Weah to return to the presidency. That's what that statement is all about. You ask them. They say Weah messed the country up, but they cannot tell you how Weah messed the country up. They're only saying Weah messed the country up, but they cannot say. And they cannot deny that Weah did not do the unprecedented developmentally in this country. But they just don't want to admit it. Only the evil person, the envious, the jealous, the malicious in heart will not admit. They are telling you that George Weah messed the country up. But within the recesses of their hearts, they know that George Weah did the unprecedented developmentally in this country, which everybody knows, everybody sees, everybody talks about it. Ironically, they are not the only people in this country. The country has 5.4 million people, living people, that can point to George Weah's development all over the place. In just under 2 years, George Weah was on the Selena developmentally. Boakai under 2 years, nothing, absolutely. Only vindictive act, going after people, putting people in jail, using police to clamp down on political opponents, and on and on. George Weah returns to the presidency 2029. It hurts you because you people can say, when you see us, you get vexed, you're expressing. We will continue to say it. And we're not saying it because we're making up a statement. We are affirming, we are speaking to the reality. It is not an imagination. It is the reality. You see, we have footprint, handprints, nail print, all over the place. You know the weight of George Weah. 2029, except two persons, only two persons can prevent George Weah from being president 2029. Only two persons. Only two persons. You want to know the two? Only two persons can prevent George Weah, can stop George Weah from being president 2029. Only two persons. Only two. Only two. Only two persons can stop George Weah. Beyond those two persons, nobody, not Joseph Yema Boakai, not Unity Party, not anybody from Unity Party. Nobody, absolutely. Nobody. Only two persons, not even America. Nobody besides those two persons. You want to know the two persons that can stop George Weah from contesting? You ready to know the two? Yeah, the two persons. One, we'll start from bottom to top. The first person is George Weah, who can stop George Weah. Only George Weah can stop George Weah. Only George Weah can prevent George Weah from contesting. That's the first person. The second person, only God. And God will speak to Weah directly and say, these are the reasons. Only those two persons. Only Weah can stop Weah. Not even the people around him. Not even his inner cycle. Before you can talk about people on the external. Only Weah can stop Weah. Only Weah can prevent Weah. That means only Weah can make that decision. And the decision is already made. So it is an irreversible decision. When a decision is irreversible realistically, then God supports it. Weah returns to the president, say Unity Party is adding up. They're adding spice to it. They are working for George Weah. When we tell you, you don't believe it. The government is sinking. Those things they did in the past, they felt they were clever. They felt they were smart. They didn't know that they were digging their own pit. That cliche is going down gradually. They're getting tired of that cliche. We are not coming back. Because they're seeing they're transparent, practical failures. They have now resorted to being rhetorical, meaning they just explaining, going to the play, talking this one, talking that one. What rhetoric is, you giving long speech. The person will go and give long speech. The other person, they're just giving speeches all over. But nothing practical you can see from the speeches. Nothing can come from the speeches. They say match your words with action. But the government can match words with action because no action. And the words empty. That empty, the words just a plastic bag, weak, very weak. They came a couple of months. What did they say? They described, they gave Joe Barker the honor. They say, what kind of role? They say he wrote medicine, eh? Something that need to give him, something like medicine. What happened? They went and lied. They say, oh, the Southeast Day, they're doing that. You can go, you can leave from here and go to your country less than 1 hour. All the people who were writing all of those things, why they're not writing again? Why they're not saying? Because people have gone there. They try to portray Joseph Nyeman Boakai as if he is a saint developmentally or a development saint. And this is what is giving Unity Party hard time. When you pretend or you try to portray yourself as doing it all when you have limitations and not admitting your limitations, you get shame and boo. We saw Ellen here. When Ellen had limitations, Ellen would say we can't achieve this or we'll achieve this because we don't have this, we have this. She would talk about her limitation. We saw the same thing with George Weah here. There is nothing wrong with that in leadership. There's nothing, because you are not an island. If external support is not coming, or you're not generating the kind of revenue that you want to generate, giving your agenda, you just have to admit, it doesn't say that you're not going to achieve it. It doesn't say that you are visionless. It only means you just honest. That's all. And the people will see reason to identify. One of the reasons why Ellen, the people will buy into some of the things that Ellen was telling them or the excuses that she was giving, because she would come and the way she used to say in Liberian in the colloquial way, my people, you understand, oh, the government trying, your government trying, but it's not easy. You know, our people then who we looking up to them to help us. They saying that they ain't get it too. They're looking for it, so we have to wait small. Y'all have to understand the government. Ellen used to kind of important in Liberian way, simple psychology. So even though the people used to have 1 or 2 reservations, but when she finished talking, they will understand and cope with the situation. That's how Ellen used to play on the people. Oh God, yeah, man. But no, it all government can do anything extra. The only thing they encourage people, they tell people, oh, man, you go talk about that job we are, man. That's somebody go and say that man not coming back. He did this, he did that. Then they'll go. The other person will call a news conference. You allow yourselves to be used as surrogates. You say that you call a news conference only to talk about George Weah. Now did George Weah didn't do this? George Weah did not do that. George Weah was there. George Weah there. What kind of normal person? It's not normal, people. Please. God, it is not normal. It is abnormality. You just sit down. You call yourself highly educated person. You have your responsibility. You have the man that you're supporting in Joseph Yema Boakai. You're using your expertise to advise Joseph Yema Boakai or to talk about what he's doing. Instead, you leave it and just concentrate you 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 1 hour on George Weah. That George Weah not doing this. George Weah government was this. George Weah government was that. And you think you're sounding normal? That's how people start going crazy gradually start going crazy. Your craziness can start from clean clothes. It can start with you thinking that you are normal, that you're saying normal things. And the more and longer and all of the time and every time you concentrate on focusing on George Weah, a simple elementary idea, you're popularizing George Weah, you're increasing George Weah fame by the minute, the second, the hour. You people are putting the people against you. And may I let you know, if you people don't know, in this country, the more you talk negative against George Weah, the people see you as a wicked person. The more you talk negative against George Weah, you know how George Weah is in this country? George Weah lives in the people. When you hear the Englishman say that man is in the people DNA, it means even if the people, God forbid, if the people die, they come out to F, that name they know, that person they know, that name they won't hear. No way you can take it off. No way. And it is against that Unity Party people know how the people have resolved. The people cannot do without George Weah. That going into election, they may already popular. Then we did a number of bad things to the man, broke down his headquarters, did all kind of things. Here people just see him. They see him as 50, 75 in them, meaning the resolve. So let's come up with a strategy and let's start saying it early. And they do not know the earlier they say, the better it is for Weah, because the people ain't get time. They won't know. You say all kinds of nice things about George Weah. It increases. You increasing the people's love for him the more and more. The more you say negative thing about George Weah, the more. It's just like the people, they had long been wishing to see George Weah, and then he coming to them at that moment. That's how it looks. You United Party people, you ain't know this thing here? woman go more open classroom to teach you the thing. You ain't know that in this country, the more you say negative about George Weah, it increases the people love for George Weah 5 times. You ain't know this thing yet. You better stop like your cliche. We are not coming back. We are not coming back. Every time you say that, you're recruiting for George Weah. Every time you say that, you're recruiting. Those who at the age of 16, 17, 2 years from now, they are mature enough to vote. Look at that demographic. Just do a sampling of that within that demographic and see what name you will hear. Just speak to 10. 9 out of 10 will tell you George Weah. 9 out of 10. 15 out of 20 will tell you George Weah. That identical demographic, 15, 16, 17. By 2028, majority of them will be of voting age. The name that resonating with them, not Joseph Yuma Boakai, not Augustine Kpo Ngafwan, not Rachel Kuhn, not Yomli Kanga Lawrence, not Thomas Fowler, none of those names. The names that resonate with that demographic is George Manneh Weah. Take it for a joke. I see you. Weah returns to the presidency 2029. We'll talk more of that tomorrow if God permits. We are in 2026. You take it for a joke. You go sit and Joe, we are not coming out. Individually, who they're using as surrogates. When they get us small money, then you call 1 or 2 newspaper pressing online people, then they run away. Hey, this man right. This man right. Former President George Weah regime was a disaster. And you think that you're saying something good. Anyway, listen. Because how I see it again, when you say those things, that's how you get public attention. Because without Weah, you can't get public attention. Without Weah, nobody knows you. So people now take it just using the name Weah. So they think when they talk about Weah, then, yeah, people will start reading, oh, this man. All by themselves, nobody knows them in this country. All by themselves, say something, nobody has time for it. I bet all of those people, let them just do things all by themselves. Without Weah, nobody will have time to read an article. Nobody will have time to listen to them whatsoever. So they focus their attention on Weah because the name Weah is the most popular name. It's the connected name. It's the charismatic name. It's the weighted name. So everyone of them, all by themselves. Meaning, you talk about Weah, you say nothing, you're writing an article, doing other things, you calling news conference talk. Nobody will get time. Nobody. People will not run with it. When you see them running with whatever the right or saying, it's because they mention George Weah. And they do it intentionally because they know that's how the article will go. That's how their name will go. That's how people will be reading or talking about them. So Weah is the most popular. Without Weah, they can't get popular. Let's see you. Weah returns to the presidency 2029. You're taking for a joke. We're back tomorrow if God permits. The news is on at 6. People, please join us for that. King's Newsroom at 6. And then at 6:50, Isiaka Sharif and Josephine Pello Johnson are in with CDC Hour. And then the doctor himself is in at 8 o'clock. The Anthony At-Law, the teacher of the land, the light of the nation, E.B. Weah will face the issues. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. This is how we go home.
Joy. Rastafari. It's a redemption day.
Wagwan must struggle.
Wagwan revolution, people. Wagwan the blue revolution. Y'all ready? CDC, y'all ready? Let's go. CDC CDC build. CDC build. CDC ready. CDC ready. Headquarters coming. Yeah, we building a new home. Let's build. The men they fought